I believe everyone has a special gift. I believe everyone has a special talent. And I just challenge you to find out what your talent is. What are you holding back from this world? What things can you bring forward to make a better product, a better service? What could you invent to make this world better? What could you do to make someone's life better? I just challenge you to think deeply into yourself. Why are you here? What can you contribute to this world? And I challenge you to start working towards making that real. Check out this clip for more.
So day one, and this is all symbolic. So day one, day two, day three, it could be minutes, could be seconds, could be years. So day one represents the day of the new intention, the new vision, the new realization. For example, you realize that you want to quit your job. This is a very basic example. You realize that you're not happy where you're at with your job. You realize that it does not allow you to express your authentic voice. And so you wish to quit your job. And so day one, you're all excited, you're all ecstatic because you have this like inspiration come through. You see this new vision of yourself, working for yourself, being self-employed, or starting this nonprofit, or whatever it is you're into. But you've realized, on day one, you realize very clearly and with passion and excitement that there's something else that you want. And so then this fills you up, right? You feel this ecstasy, this inspiration. And many people reach this point at many times in their lives. They feel this day one experience. But then day two comes around, and it is the day of challenge, or the day of testing. And it basically functions like a safety switch on a gun almost. So it's like, are you sure you want to shoot the gun? Are you sure you want to pull the trigger on this change in your life, on this change in who you are, in your vibrational attitude? Because if you say yes to that day two challenge, if you really do decide to pull the trigger, to pull off the safety pin and pull the trigger on your change, on your frequency change, what happens is that your reality, your circumstances will actually change. And so in order for that to be sort of like a second choice, a second chance for you to actually either confirm that choice or go back to your old reality. So day two can look like anything, but it will always be somewhat challenging. It can look like your boss telling you that you're under contract and there's no way out of that contract, you can't leave. Or maybe your spouse or partner is very worried what will happen to the financial situation of your household. Things like that. But it may also be in the form of your own thoughts. So it doesn't have to be in the terms of circumstances. It can be in terms of your own internal doubts as well. Basically anything that doubts your day one realization, your new vision, your new change for yourself, is what I call the day two challenge. So day one is the day of the new intention, the new vision, the new realization, the day of realization. Day two is the day of challenge, or testing if you will. And day three is the day of confirmation, transformation, and celebration. Now this day three experience is actually not something many people experience a lot of the time. And that's why collectively I feel we have sort of adopted this skepticism and this cynicism and this sense of being betrayed by life and being betrayed by our dreams. And to be in a state of being a dreamlike participant of life means that you're either deluded, or you're too childlike, or you're not real enough, you're not realistic. But that whole sort of sick attitude, to be honest, this heavy attitude that we have around our dreams and our changes and our ability to change, all comes from very few people really having the tools or having the knowledge, having the awareness of how to move through the day two challenge. And so when the day two challenge arises, now that you know about this process, you'll be able to recognize it as such, and therefore you have a more honest choice in a sense. Because it no longer looks like real doubts, they look like challenges rather than doubts. So now when these doubts come up, whether in circumstance, in other people around you, testing you, challenging you, asking you basically in disguised terms, are you sure you want to pull the trigger on this change? Are you sure you wish for this to manifest your life in a different way? And if your response to that is a solid yes, if you stay convinced throughout that day two challenge, if you remain in the energy of your day one realization, in that excitement, in that passion, in that trust, in that faith that everything is possible, and then day two challenges arise, then they don't even seem like challenges. The more certain you are of reality. And again, these 3 days may take weeks, they may take minutes, they may take seconds. It depends on the process, depends on the change. But this is that symbolic 3-stage step process for practically any new realization you have for yourself. So enjoy this. Now that you know about this process, you can see it coming, and you can carry your day 1 frequency all the way through to day 3.